There it is. Good morning, everybody. Sorry, it just took a second for my system to catch up here. So today we're going to be tinting a windshield, and I'm just going to go over the step-by-step process on how I do it, and then that way you guys can take these steps and apply it to your own windshields. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. Ow, ow, ow. So we have a 2013 Ford Fusion. Yeah, it's a little dirty, so I didn't even clean it, so I want to get all the prep for everything so you guys can see it. Okay. First step, we're gonna go ahead and just spray down, clean off the windshield. With windshields, it's imperative because you're probably going to be charging a premium, yes? You're probably going to be using some sort of ceramic films. Me personally, I charge $199 for my standard ceramic and $299 for my high performance ceramic films, right? So people are going to be paying a premium and they expect premium results. So it's imperative that we just do the steps right, because there is a lot of work to be done in a windshield and you have to get it damn near perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be damn near. So I am cleaning off the entire glass, as well as the first, like the top 6 inches, and you're gonna see why in a minute. I get it all nice and clean. If there's any tar, not tar, it's like sap from trees, maybe some sand, some bugs, anything like that, you just want to get as clean as possible, because we're going to be shrinking obviously on this surface, and we don't want anything on the surface of the glass to disrupt or essentially destroy the window film, because the film is going to be actually on the glass. Steps outside, done. Inside, as you guys can see, it is incredibly dusty and dirty in here. So dust and dirt is not your friend. You don't want it around. It just increases the probability of contamination to enter your project area. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe everything down. Now I'm gonna show you all the step-by-step process that you should be doing. You know, you learn it the right way, and then when you're ready, or you feel like you've got the steps down, or you feel like, then you cut the corners, right? So instead of doing this, maybe I just throw a dash towel down, right? A number of different things. I'm gonna clean the mirror. This windshield, we're not taking this bracket off because it has that Ford mirror thingy, and I know they have tools that you can pry this off, but I've used those tools before, and those tools for me puts a lot of pressure right here, and I have cracked glass. But then the last 10 years, I'd say 5 years, when I first started here, I used to just yank these and rip these off, but you can't do that now. The glass is, I believe the glass is thinner and cheaper for keeping costs down. So just something to be aware of. If it's a struggle to get this rear view mirror off, just cut around it, and cut a slit. It is what it is. All right, inside's clean, outside's clean. Next step is you want to go ahead and check the interior for anything that may be an issue during installation. Most importantly, up in this top left corner, you can see the outline of previous oil stickers, maybe some car wash stickers, maybe down here for inspection stickers, whatever you want. You kind of want to do that now. Not kinda, it's recommended that you do that now, right? You want to find all the imperfections now, because the next step is to apply dry shrink prep, right? And then put the film on there. So now you have stuff in the way, and you have to have a better eye in regards to what's on the inside, what's on the outside, and whatnot. So now is a great time to take a look, see if there's any adhesive anywhere, any major things that could be a problem in regards to your installation. in the future. You know, it's a little dirty up here. What you can do is you can tape off this top area because the header's exposed, and just by flicking this I can see dust coming off of it, right? Just from the headliner. So what we could do as a good practice is we can go ahead and tape that off. Don't hit your head. Not that I didn't do it before, but now that I'm in a shop, I'm much more mindful in regards to taking additional steps to ensure a quality installation. When you're on the road, you kind of got to deal with what you can deal with as being mobile. When you're in a shop, it makes it a little bit better just because you have a little more time on your side. You have all your stuff here. Like, I was limited to how much how many things I can bring into the van, to be honest. Let's try to make this a little bigger, get this process done a little faster. If you have headliners that are exposed, and if you're new, a tendency that people will do is that they'll squeegee, and as they squeegee, instead of just squeegeeing the top, they shove the side swipe or the squeegee, whatever, all the way to the top, and then they drag it. The problem is that when you drag it with this tool, you let loose all the little dust and you know, the, I don't even know what it is, insulation or whatever, in the headliner. And then people wonder when they do an installation, how come they have trash all over the top? It's because they're dragging their tool. If you didn't tape it off, my suggestion is that you look up and you just get the blade of the squeegee just past the ceramic coating, not touching the headliner. Just like that. That's gonna save you, because I don't know, I haven't done it, but how many steps could there be within a windshield installation? 20, 30, 40, who knows, right? But it doesn't matter if you're on step 1 or step 40. If you mess up, you're starting all over. And for me, when I start, I mean, I can knock it out in about 45 minutes now. But for me, when I started, it took me probably a solid hour and a half to do a windshield. Just because I was taking my time and just trying to do it right. So that's a lot of time that gets eaten up if you mess up. So you just gotta remember the steps, take your time. Quality installation is imperative. Imperative. I am getting, I am taking a page out of Matt's book and going to go ahead and get the carpet shield so that I can cover the door panels. I have door cover panels currently, and they're okay. They're the like the painter's tape with the plastic sheeting. This right here, which is a great product, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, it's a great product. But with the carpet shield that Matt uses, it's an entire sheet of adhesive. Sometimes when you put it here and cover the doors, it like the tape would come off or something of that nature. So being able to just have a solid sheet of adhesive and it just adheres, I think it's a win. Okay, so now that the top is taped off, windshield's clean, inside's clean, no adhesive, no stickers, anything else like that, we're ready for the next step. I'm gonna grab my dry shrink applicator, and I am gonna go over this in regards to how to honking out there, how to properly apply dry shrink prep. I have some big fans and big pushers like Marco is a big fan of this, and I know a number of different people are big fans of dry shrink prep. But they had trouble with application, and sometimes it just doesn't work out for them. And I'm going to explain why. Dry shrink prep is a product to prepare the windshield for shrinking. In its name, it's dry shrink prep, so everything needs to be dry. It's not like a dryer sheet. We just soak everything and then wet it down and then go do something else and then come back and it's good. With this product, less is more. Notice I only did 2 sprays. 2 sprays. I'm gonna start in the middle and come to the outside, and I'm just gonna spread that out. Spread that out. I'm not spraying the glass. The glass is already cleaned off and dried. And it's moist. I can see the moisture, so I'm just gonna keep working it in until I get this nice haze. And you'll see a difference between a wet haze and a dry haze. And we're gonna coat the entire glass. One issue that I see people doing that's incorrect is that they absolutely murder the applicator with water and then they spray the windshield. You could do that and then just leave it. It takes time, and it takes time. Like this, I'm gonna be able to do it right now. That way, it takes time for it to dry, and then there's water everywhere else, so it starts to stick. Same thing as if you were using a dryer sheet and it wasn't dry yet. It's gonna stick, right? Because what's the number one enemy for a dry shrinking process? Water. Water. So again, just one spray. Less is more. I completely advise you guys to do less is more. Those of you guys that are just absolutely murdering this applicator with water, number one, you don't need to. Number two, the product will not last as long. The product inside the applicator breaks down over time. If you're just saturating it with water, would it be advantageous for me to tell you to saturate it? Absolutely, because I can sell more product. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be beneficial for you guys because it's not being done properly. And if you guys don't like the product, then you guys won't use the product. So it's imperative that you guys do the application correctly. That's it. 1 spray on this side, 2 sprays on this side. I always say do 2 sprays on the applicator per half a window. That's it. Notice the glaze, the haze over, but everything is dry. Everything is dry. Up top is dry, the sides are dry. It's bone dry right now. So now we're prepped for the windshield. That's how you set up for dry shrink prep. If you do it like this, I guarantee you the film will float. Guarantee you. Also, dry shrink prep was always promoted as, where the hell is my? Dry shrink prep has always been promoted as the healthy alternative to dryer sheets. And it was priced the exact same. The original numbers that we came out with was it was gonna last at least 1 to 2 months. 58. If you use the product the way I'm using it, it's been stretching to 4 to 6 months. So it's easy to say, and I could say it with confidence, that not only is it the healthy alternative to dryer sheets, but it's also now more cost effective. So it's not only a healthy option, it's a cheaper option. All right, so I'm cutting out the film right now. We're using a ceramic film, 50% on the windshield right now. You guys can do this out of a box. I have a film handler. The process is exactly the same. You can pull it with big windshields like this. We're at 58 inches, right? So I'm marking it for 60 inches, but 60 would hit the ground or get close to the ground. And sometimes, you know, organizing a big piece of film and handling a big piece of film like that could be cumbersome. You could end up putting creases and such. So a good idea is just to mark it halfway. And this process works the exact same if you're going to be doing flat glass as well. If you have a huge piece of film, and like let's say you do have a film handler and you need 90 inches, it'll hit the floor, and I don't want that, right? Okay, so I'm going to start rolling the film. When I roll the film, I want to roll the film with the film side out, and that's going to help us roll out the film onto the glass. Film side out. And bring this second line down to the first line, and now I know I have 60 feet. It's a great trick right there, by the way. Not made by me. This is just a trick I picked up working with other installers. So film side is out, not in, because we're gonna go ahead and unroll this film onto the vehicle, and it's just easier this way. This way, you could just grab the whole roll, and that's totally cool, right? If you're comfortable and confident with that, right? But some of these rolls are really expensive. Like I think a box of CTX from Lumar is like $600. So like if you drop that roll or torpedoes or anything like that, then it becomes an issue, right? Because now you're losing film and you're losing money. Ooh, hold on. Hey Robin, can I call you back in about 45 minutes? Unless it's dire.
It's not dire, I just haven't heard your voice in a while, so I figured
Oh. I love that idea. I'm literally in the middle of a live stream, so but I wanted to answer your call. Are you sick? You sound sick.
No, I'm not sick.
Is it a little stuffy? Allergies. Yes, and get some oh, I love hearing from you. I will call you back about 45 minutes and I'll call you back. Bye. Such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart. Oh, well, while I'm here, why don't we answer some questions here. Hello, Patrick. How are you? Edco Customs. Hello, EDO Customs. How you doing? Sup, bro? I'm fixing the stream a BMW sides and rear. Nice. Extreme shades, window tinting. Nice. I used to soak the shield door panel covers with tape on the top edge. Oh, okay. I was just live working on a Jeep Wrangler, no shrink on any windows. I cut my live to everyone's over here. Oh. Do you have a link to buy those? Oh, yes. The dry shrink prep. Give me 1 second here. That is the website. If you guys are looking for some dry shrink prep, dryshrinkprep.com. That's where it is. Big shout out to our sponsors, Solar Effects Window Films, Tint Wiz, Dry Shrink Prep, and the Tint Mob. Now I haven't, I still have to get banners for them and such, so. All right, sorry about that. So we now have our film, and like I was saying, it's just easier to pre-cut it, because if you drop that whole roll, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and it's hundreds of dollars, right? But it's thousands of dollars in lost revenue, because if you trash even 10 feet, it might really only cost you 50 bucks in film, or 30 or 40 or 80 or whatever it is, but you now lost the income revenue potential from that film. So instead of, it might be $50 worth of film, but you just lost $600 worth of potential income. So important. All right, now I have the film side here. You can go from that side or this side, it really doesn't matter. And I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it out across the glass. And now when I do this, I try to go halfway, because you see the bottom of the film. I wanna make sure that the bottom of the film is past the ceramic coating and past this edge. And then just roll it about 3/4 and then just let go. Done. Take a Mac tack. I'm gonna tack the center. Then we're gonna go ahead and start trimming. Fresh blade, 3 blades out. Don't wanna score the glass. We're just cutting through film, baby. Now here, some people do rip it. I noticed that like it kind of gets like flaky, so I just cut it off. Because again, I'm just trying to minimize the amount of trash and contamination in the entire work area. Here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just trim off this corner just so this film can lay flat. Now that I have that, I'll go ahead and just lay it down here. Just gonna hit a basic H pattern. Now I do know I have a little bit extra. I probably have 5 or 6 inches extra. I'm always fearful that like the worst thing ever is like cutting out film and it's an inch short, because then you waste a lot, versus 5 inches or so here. You can get it close, but don't dance with the devil and get it too close. I need to bring my other trash can in here. Still getting set up in this shop, by the way. Now what I like to do after I cut, I will lift back up and then squeegee back down. It just kind of helps reset the film. And we're gonna go ahead and just lay down an H pattern. It's important, guys, just like shrinking a back window, is that you have no fingers on the side. The sides need to be tight. No give, no nothing. Not a little finger, nothing. A little finger here will turn into a 4-inch finger when you move it down here. So it's important to get yourselves prepped and ready. All right, let us go ahead and get a heat gun together. I've always been a fan of Porter cable, and then Porter cable stopped making heat guns, and then Craftsman started doing it. It's the same thing. It's the same gun. Just now it's red instead of blue. I do like these heat guns, and I'll probably start using double heat guns, because I couldn't use double heat guns in my previous shop, but now I can. I used to blow the breaker all the time, but now I'm gonna be able to. All right, so let's go ahead and go shrinking. Doesn't matter if you're using a blowtorch, a Wagner, a Craftsman. Heat guns are all the same. It's just how you use it. I turn it as high as I can and turn it as fast as I can. That works for me. Just gonna start at the top. Normal shrinking procedures. The bottom is probably the easier part to shrink. It's the top that people have problems with. And they, especially in the corners, and they bind it in the corners. So notice what I got going on here. You see this, and this finger starting to go here. What a lot of people will try to do is push that finger that way, right? We want to lay the film flat, but we don't want to force it, because film can only shrink so much. So in a case like this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it a little bit and actually just go to the outside just a little bit. Still trying to avoid fingers, but I'm gonna go to the outside a little bit. That way, I'm not forcing this whole thing to shrink. I'm actually relieving some pressure this way. And going out a little bit when you're shrinking will relieve pressure in this corner and in this corner when you're shrinking. And then hopefully you're not gonna get like a heat shrink or a heat crease because you've tried to shrink too much in one area. Try to catch this up a little bit. There we go. And if it does that, where it's just not trying to lay, like out here, we're already past the line, so it doesn't matter. I'll just wet my finger, tack it, and it should stay down. Do I have the right side out? Yeah. If you're new to shrinking, or you're maybe new to your film, and sometimes it takes a little learning curve, once you're past the line, now is a great time to just heat the shit out of that film and kind of get a good feeling on how far you can push that film before it burns. Right? I hate to, you know, that might not be something you're going to try to attempt to do within your workspace, but if it's past the line, it's a good opportunity to kind of test the limits of your film. Because sometimes when you shrink to put the particular cars, you have to push the limits of the film all the way to its edge. Now here, notice that like I kind of shrunk into this area, right? So I don't want this film going here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lift it a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of now make it like a little triangle, a little peak, and now I can shrink that straight down. I might shrink this a little bit more, but that's okay. It's all about flow. Flow, flow, flow. I do recommend shrinking with like a Mac Tack or a smart card. I wouldn't recommend shrinking with a hard card, especially if you're new, just because the hard cards have no mercy. If you go over the film and it's not shrunk and you lay it over, it's really easy to crease it. All right, so the bottom is shrunk, super easy. I am gonna trim this. It looks like I did over shrink this area just a little bit outside of the ceramic coating. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a little trimmy trim, just like that. Wet my finger, and that should lay down now, just like that. Now, one of the most important things that I've done, that I've changed in my process over the last 6 months, is double snap in tops and bottoms. Imperative, right? The most annoying thing to do is when you're doing an installation, especially on a windshield, and you have a finger that pops up, because it's just not shrunk enough, right? Once you go on the inside is just a little bit smaller than the outside, right? So, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to get a heat gun in there, and then every time you pull a finger, it pulls up trash and water and dirt, and then just makes it dirtier. So what I've been doing, double snapping. Bottoms for front windshields and for back windows. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and lift it up here. Never shrink the corner, never, ever, ever, because the film could try to go this way, and film can only shrink up and down, so it'll bind. So always tag the corner, and we're only, like, if here's the line, we're only gonna be shrinking like the top 2-3 inches, nothing crazy. But this just tightens everything up just a hair more. And when I do this, it really just like gets it out. Now don't just go over it with heat and lay it down. Like, give it some heat and see the film shrink a little bit more, because this is really going to tighten it up, so that when you go to the inside and you do your installation, it has eliminated fingers for me. Eliminated. Just lays down a little bit tighter. Now we're done. You don't necessarily have to do it to the top, because you can always get a heat gun. It's a little easier to heat gun an area at the top, but shrinking the top, double snapping the top never hurts. All right, let's start doing the top. Notice, guys, that I didn't trim off this top area. I'm a very big fan of keeping this top area. Some people just trim it to here and you're done. Reason why I keep that long, it's like insurance, right? It's that top area is like having a gun, right? You don't need to use it, but if you have it when you need it, it makes it better. I hope that makes sense. Heat gun on high. Gonna open the door. It's just easier to open the door. You get a little bit more access here. And what you can do is you can put a towel down right here, just so your footsteps aren't on the railing right there. Now, normal people do a normal H pattern like this, right? And they bring this all the way up, right? This is where most people have problems, because they're gonna look how big that finger is right there, right? So they try to not shrink any of this. That's 4 or 5 inches. And then hyper shrink this area, when then they start getting creases. So from the center, I'm just gonna lift it up. I'm just gonna do one little finger and kind of go to the outside, right? So that I'm gonna shrink now this 4 inches that would have been laid down. I'm gonna shrink that a little bit, and I'm also gonna bring it to the outside. It's gonna relieve pressure right here. For those of you guys that know or started to do windshields and are always creasing in this area, this is why. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you that. Start at the bottom, and I like to just grab the film and pull. The reason for this is so I can pull, right? Like, look at that finger right there, right? I can't do anything with that, right? And if I try to heat that, it's gonna shrink that way and crease. But if I grab it and I pull it, now I can manipulate the film where I want to. And it's not going to crease this way. It's going to shrink the direction it needs to. Starting at the bottom, and we're not going crazy, guys. We're only doing 2 to 3 inches at a time, and or 3 to 4 inches at a time, and then we'll go down to 2 to 3 at the very top. Now right here, it's a good time to start pulling, right? Let that film shrink down there. Keep it tight. Boom. From the center, I like to keep just a nice even shrink, obviously everywhere, but in the center is most importantly too, because we're going to be wrapping around that button. So you just want to make sure to keep it as smooth as possible. You don't want to try to like force a shrink sideways or something like that, especially in the middle. So again, once I get to the end here, I'm going to go ahead and pull. So this side is nice and tight. And let everything catch up. Now watch my squeegee here. I'm not going to go straight up with it. I'm actually going to go out just a little bit to the side. Just a little to the side. And when I'm going to the side, I'm spreading the film out this way. I'm relieving pressure from this area. I'm not squeegeeing up this way, right? I'm not squeegeeing this way. I'm going out to the side a little bit. But because this window film, the way the direction is, the windshield's taper at the top. So you can actually shrink a little bit up and out at the top. Let's keep going. Getting close to that corner again. So what I want to do is I just want to give it a little Yankee poo. And when you pull it, make sure you're not lifting up and pulling. What you want to do is you want to pull and keep that film close to the glass. Because if you lift up, then the film has a quicker tendency of burning. So you don't want it lifted up. Just like that. And you see what we've done now? Because we shrank correctly, because we shrank this 4 inches here and we brought it out, now there's no tension in this top corner. Just smooth as butter. If it ain't glass, it's ass, baby. And keep on going. Top 2 inches, it pretty much lays. You can yank it a little bit more if you want. Just read the film. See right here, you see this like finger that's like going this way? If I heat that, that could crease right there. So I'm just gonna pull it. I wanna pull it so the film goes into the direction that I want. Okay, now you might be saying, oh, well, Patrick, what about these fingers? It doesn't matter. We're past the ceramic coating. That's gonna get cut off. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's glass in your work area. And this is what I mean about if you go too high. If you lifted this film too high, watch how fast this film's gonna burn. Done. Done. Up, high, fast, done. Look at that. 1, 2 seconds. So that's what I mean about not when you pull, make sure you pull, but you keep the film close to the glass. That way it doesn't get too hot and burn instantly. All right, almost done, guys. All right, here we go. Now what I try to do when I shrink, I did it here, I didn't do it at the bottom, is that I try to shrink moving this way so that I have that taper, right? Instead of going straight up, because then if you go straight up, you have this finger that now has to shrink this way. And it's like, why put more pressure than you need to on the glass? Looks like there's a little light crease, and that's why I like using Magtax or soft cards, because or Magtax or smart cards, because like right there I creased it a little bit, but it makes a little crease. It doesn't make a hard crease where you're like, you're not getting that out. I don't give a shit who you are. You're not getting that out. And if you do get it out, you're gonna sit there for 10 or 15 minutes with a chiseler. You're gonna move around all the adhesive. It's not gonna look good, right? So there is a little bit of a light crease there. I'm just gonna squeeze an air pocket into there, hit it with the heat gun, boom. The crease is gone. Gone. All right, and let's go ahead and let's do it. I always try to shrink in even sections, right? So I want to shrink here and go all the way up. It makes it really hard to have an even shrink across the board when you shrink all this and then you leave this. Because sometimes this needs to shift over that way when you're shrinking. Just up and out to the side a little bit. See that? Up and out. Not up this way. Up and out. Just a hair. That up and out just, again, takes pressure off this corner at the very top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pull and start working that corner. Look at the film, read the film. It's not the easiest window, but by far not the hardest window. So something I did is notice I did like a huge 6-inch, 7-inch section. Sometimes when you're shrinking that much and you try to hard card it, you'll end up creasing the film because there's just so much film to manage. So, you know, be easy with yourself and make sure to just do 4 inches at a time or something. That's shrunk. I want to go ahead and snip off the very top, because we are going to double snap the top as well. You don't have to do the whole thing. You could just do one half and then the other half. I'm just going to lift up just the top 2 inches or so. That's it. Boom. Lay it back down. Again, never try to reshrink the sides or the corners, just because it could try to shrink sideways and then you're screwed. It'll crease. Just the top 2 inches or so. Just gonna make it nice and snug. If you have something like this, you notice that this film is standing up here. Maybe you can't reach it. Maybe you don't have reach. Either try to lay it down or don't put heat on that. Remember what happens when you put heat on film that's already off the glass? You'll burn it in a second. Boom. Shrunk. Let's go to the other side. Gonna lay the side in the corner, never touching it, just shrinking the top area. All right, I'm going to put this down. We're all set there. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. If there are any questions, now is a good time. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the stream, see if we can catch up. Oh, let's see here. Always good to see different ways of windshield installs. Absolutely, absolutely. That's the beautiful thing about this industry. You know, I'm showing you my way, and then I show you a number of different ways. Wet shrink, pocket shrink, you know what I mean? I don't want you to do it my way. I want you to find a technique that works for you. Nice, Patrick, new shop. Yes, David C20, yes. Thank you, congratulations, thank you, yes. We're just getting it all we're getting it all together right now. It does get really toasty in here in the afternoon, so an AC unit or even a small split is like $3,000–$4,000. I just don't have that right now, so I'm gonna save up a little cheddar, and I'm gonna put two 12,000 BTU portable AC units and feed the exhaust out of the vents at the top, and that should be enough to cover. It covers 1,000 square feet, and this is 850, so it'll keep it nice and cool, and it'll do its job until we're ready to move forward. What up, Patrick? I wish you well having your own shop. You're living the dream. Oh man, you have no idea. You have no idea how happy I am. It's stressful, right? Because now my business overhead went from less than 1,000 a month to closer to 4,000 a month. Really, yeah, it's 4,000 a month. So now I have to cover that, plus I have to cover my personal expenses for my own salary. So it's revved up, right? But for those of you guys that haven't seen it, I mean, there's a reason why. The shop isn't ready for you know, isn't the way I want it to be. But the waiting area is, right? Got an ant right there. Ow, it's fire ant. Jesus, it's trying to bite me. But the waiting area is primo, right? I did have 3 seats here, but I saw a client like sitting down and he was like teetering his drink right on the edge of the arm. That's not a very comfortable experience. So I took 1 seat out and I put coffee tables in here. That way people have places to put the things. Maybe they have food. Instead of like putting it on the ground, they have nowhere to put it. I put these tables out here. Coffee, drinks. I added sparkling water at the top for Perrier, sparkling water, lime and lemon, still water at the bottom, sodas, snacks, candies, coffee. This display board, I absolutely love this heat box demo. It makes it so quick to do a heat box demonstration, and then when you're done, and let's say you're working in there, the client can walk up and be like, oh, let me just play with it. They can't break it. They can't break it at all. Absolutely love it. Because of this, I've done, in the last 4 days, I've done like 6 cars, and this is the only car that I'm doing carbon effects on, and he's a buddy of mine and he's a car flipper. So that's why we're only using carbon effects on that. But everything else has been standard or higher. So, and that's all due to this. If you guys do not have a heat box demo like this, get your hands on one, because it's amazing. It's so much quicker than the old slide ones, right? Give me a second, keep your hand there, hold on, give me one moment, blah, 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 blah. This one, so much easier, so much better, so much faster. I did switch out the light bulb. The light bulb it came in was a little, I don't want to use the word chintzy, but it just wasn't, it had no boom. So I did replace it with a stronger heat lamp, and it fit in there perfectly. But you just get bigger numbers, and you can actually feel it a little more. The one that it comes with, it took a little bit to heat up and feel it. So we're getting there, baby. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. This is my dream. This is my dream. Patrick, I have your video stream going into my live stream. Nice! I love the piggyback, bro. I love it. I really hope YouTube doesn't like the YouTube algorithm is weird, because it'll hear audio and it might be like, oh, copyright. I don't know. It could happen, but I love it. Thank you for the restream. Thank you. Seems like you have a decent amount of cars since you've opened. You know what? We're maintaining. We're maintaining. I've been lucky, right? Here's the thing. It's been crazy. Is that like my Google My Business isn't up right now because this side hasn't had mail in 10 years. So that was a whole thing. I don't have Google My Business up. I just started some Facebook marketing in the local area like yesterday. So really it's all been word of mouth and other clients that have been coming up to me. So we've been lucky. We've been lucky so far. Thank God. Thank God. I paid $1,800 for 30K BTU split. That's for 1K square feet. Yeah, 1,800. Yeah, 1,800 for 30K. I don't want to install a split because it's gonna be like $4 grand or something like that. And the two portable the 2 units that I'm getting are metered for 500 square feet. So when I get 2 of them, 500 each, it's going to be 1,000 square feet. So it'll be enough that it's not going to overwork one over the other. It'll be enough to cool this entire area. And that's only going to be like 1,000. So, and it's definitely needed because I'm out here sweating my ass off. I got to be a little bit more comfortable. Where did you get the heat lamp from? Solar Effects window films. Oh, I have a client here. Give me 1 second, guys. Where's my hat? Just 1 moment. Let's see if we can close some business. I'll be right back. Morning. Oh, hey. This is just like that. I was planning on putting it on posts in cement and buckets, but then I pushed it and it's really not up. I think that looks too big for that. Is that square wood? Oh, cedar blocks. That's dope. It goes there. Oh, this is all wood. Would you okay if I put that up there? Yeah, that's fine. I probably would.
Nice and cool in there. What do you got? Air on there?
Nothing. It's just the morning. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
split it.
Okay.
So I think if you just drill a couple of small, like 5/16 holes, and just put, like a wing nut on the back. You know what I'm saying?
And then that way, oh, that'd be nice. That'd be great.
I mean, obviously. But I mean, you can try this in the meantime too. I see what you got.
Yeah, but this is like,
I'll look at it.
because I am replacing the yeah.
That's great. That's amazing. Good. I mean, you have got half as much space as
Eventually, what I plan on doing is getting a proper size. Right. Just looks a little chintzy. Might just be for looks.
Was this in one solid sheet?
Yeah.
I think it's heavy.
Yeah. I'll probably take it off here.
I mean, you could do this in the meantime, see how it looks from the road,
Yeah.
It might look good. I mean, this doesn't look too good sitting on the ground.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Put it here, you can move it around, whatever you think.
I was afraid of.
I mean,
That's heavy. The last thing I need is it falling on something. You know what I mean? So like, I'm
Well,
trying.
yeah, well,
That's true. That's true. So I'm trying to figure out a way to secure it so it's off the ground. But it's just, at least it's something, you know? It's something for now. I know I hate the way it looks on the ground like that too.
I mean, if you got it off the plywood and just use the vinyl.
Yeah, and then you just screw it right in there.
I guess that in there, right?
You tell me.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, you know, like I said,
Minimum.
just you got holes, 8 holes in the house.
Right? That's why I was trying to use the holes that was there now.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, you can see he already has a bunch of holes here. Joey did that. So, I mean, you know, those are already there. So I wonder if those go through. I don't know, I think so. It doesn't look
Yeah, it's a split.
Is that like spackle? I mean, not spackle. It's like stucco, I think.
Yeah, I think so on the outside.
Yeah, it's
I think
stucco
so.
over wood. So,
Well, you know what? This right here wouldn't look bad either. You know, and then that way it's away from people that are walking in. No one should be walking in this area.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that, right there.
what do you mean?
Yeah, like, well, I try to build something around to kind of secure it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with that is, you know, you guys are sharing. It's sort of like no man's land.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay. Worst case scenario, like I said,
I wouldn't try to hang this half-inch wood.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That's 3/4. That thing's pressure treated. I planned on it being outside. So. Okay.
You gotta have something.
Got it.
I'm curious now, if there's not about that. Why they haven't come down. That's why I was asking if it was a camera. Like, well, this is pretty well. It's better. I find it's better to just do it and then ask you, instead of asking permission, just do it.
Asking for forgiveness is easier than permission.
Yeah, that.
I'll keep an eye on the mail. Absolutely. Thank you guys for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's hot swap the battery. It was actually the owner. I feel like this is like archaic. Imagine oh, thank God. I had the worst idea, like I switched the battery with a dead battery and then it just kills the stream. God, sometimes these things are a pain in the ass. Pull the whole bolt out. All right, just give me one moment, guys. We're almost ready. All right, here we go. And we're back. Joshua says, did it yourself, homie? I did mine myself. Comes with almost everything you need to get heat from it. Ah, yeah, but I don't got time to build a heat box. I have time to tint windows and make money. And the heat box demo was like legit, like I think $160, which I made a profit off the first sale. All right, guys, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So now that it's shrunk, ready to go, ready to get cut out, I'm just gonna take a look at this. It's a little tight down here, a little tight down here. So when I have more room, I've actually been using this this installation towel with the soak rope absorbent thing tied right into the end. I forget, oh God, someone help me. This is actually a really great towel, and also because it's white, it makes it super easy to see. The only issue I have is that like it kind of bunches up when it's tight. It's not a problem with the product itself. It's just when it's tight, it bunches up a lot of material near the glass, and then just in my head, it increases the probability of contamination in the installation. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a soak shield in here. It is a 2013, but it does have backup cameras, so we always want to protect. So I'm just gonna go ahead and shove that in, and I'm gonna shove it in past, about 1/8 of an inch past the edge, because that's where my film's gonna stop, and I don't wanna have any issues or anything in the way. And then just tuck it in the corners as best you can. I might have to fiddle with that later. I'll leave that here. And let's get a dash towel. Doesn't matter if it's 2013 or 2029. You gotta just make sure everything's covered. These corners, because these towels are square, I just fold the corners in. That way it gives me plenty of room right there. Same thing here. I tuck the corner in kind of like a 45 so I can get it as far forward as I can. We're just looking for majority coverage. I actually keep it like an inch away, a couple inches away. And then what you can do is you can take this excess right here from the material, kind of shove it into that corner of that molding, and it should hold it. Because it's a dry towel on a dry deck, and sometimes they do slide down. So just the thing you gotta deal with, and use like right there, right? Just find a place and shove it in there. Good. Let's go to cutting. For 50%, it's pretty easy to see, but all you would need to do, if you can't see, is just get a light in there. And I'm just cutting 1/8 of an inch past the line. Now I don't have a really good view right now, so I'm gonna just move my angle. Move my body, move my angle. So I'm a little wide down here, so I'm gonna bring it in a little tighter. All right, now this one in particular, if it was just a button, I could take it off. I cut the button on the inside, but since we're gonna be doing a wraparound here, I am gonna cut the button outside. It, but I found it. Boom. Boom. Now for the slit. I'm just gonna take it straight up. Gotta have a slit, because I'm not trying to take that rearview mirror off and break the dang thing. It really doesn't matter in Florida because everyone gets 2 windshields a year. Just part of the state thing, but if you live in a state that doesn't, that insurance. And if you're not using the light, a trick that you can do is try to use the car and angles with the car to make your cutting a little easier. Like look, I can see the white or the gray from the trim. Makes it really easy to see this black line. Done. Cut out. Almost done, guys. Scrub pad. I do have 1-inch razor blades coming. 1-inch razor blades is my typical go-to process, but I don't have any right now, so we're just gonna go with scrubbies. A couple towels, fresh clean towels, and let's get into the cleaning process. There is a difference, and let me go over this real quickly. There is a difference in how you wet these windshields, guys. It's important that you do it correctly. Let me see here. Let's look at this film over here. You see this? That's moist. Just wetting it down, that's getting full coverage. This, no bueno. Look at the drips. Look at the water, right? You want to wet it? That's perfect. That's wet. That's what you want. You want to wet it without letting it drip. If you wet it to the point where you start seeing drips, then that's an issue, because now you're oversaturating the windshield. You're going to over bombard the soak shield. The idea and the goal, the trick, is that you want to, once you take out the windshield or take out the soak shield after you install, squeeze it out. You only want like 2 or 3 drops in there. Water management is important. See too many of you cats just soaking the shit out of these things. And that's why you're destroying it. You try that on a Dodge, one of the new Dodge trucks, or any of the Dodges really, or the new Dodge truck in particular. That computer module is $1,600 to replace, and all could be avoided with proper water management and proper protection. Soak shields for sure. If you guys don't have a soak shield, you guys can purchase soak shields from the website drystringprep.com under the tools section. Like I said before, we are planning on aggressive expansion on the tool selections that we do have this year. All the tools that I use will be curated and put up on the website, so that if you guys are learning from me and you guys want to use the tools that I use, then you'll be able to do so, and then it helps support me as well. Full coverage. I do like a I forget what they call it. It's from Tri-Edge, like the big flat paddle. God dang, I forgot it. I shouldn't forget it, but I did. All right, one good thing to go over is just run your hand over everything. Once you squeegee, this is good practice. Kind of feel if you feel anything, any dirt, any grime, any adhesive, anything. All right, squeegee at the top. We're gonna start from the top and work our way down. I'm usually on the driver's side, so this is kind of throwing me off. So from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and do one pass all the way down on the side. And then now I'm gonna go coast to coast. That pass on the side down is important, because if you try to like come in here, you could pull contamination from that edge, and we don't want that. Once you get down to this area, just make sure your hand doesn't touch the glass, because you'll introduce contamination from your hand. And if you can't reach it down there, then use your auto bulldozer. I'm gonna wipe this side because coast to coast we brought all the trash over here, so we want to make sure to wipe that down here. All right, we're set. We're ready to install. Might want to take and just a rag. We did this before, but we just kind of want to wipe off because we're going to be wrapping around the rearview mirror, so we don't want any trash or contamination from the rearview mirror introducing trash into our install. All right, I'm always for efficiency, right? So I always shrink from left to right with my windshields. So I always start on the driver's side. We're gonna do a reverse roll. If I start on the passenger side, then I have to come to the driver's side, then I have to go back to the passenger side to roll it. So this takes less steps if I just start on the driver's side. Go ahead and wet it down. This is gonna minimize any static cling. And let's just go ahead and start peeling. I'm gonna peel right from the board. I mean, right from the car. Once you start peeling, wet it down. You can go down to about a corner and then just pick up the corner and go to halfway. And lay it back down and lay it back down. Try to get any big bubbles out of there. Another trick that some people do is not only do they wet the vehicle to get the static cling down, they spray the air, kind of get any dust particles out of the air. On this second half, it's important that you make sure that this part goes past the halfway point so that you know you're getting, like you're soaking the whole piece of film, and you're not gonna have like a ½ inch right up the middle that's not wet, because you're screwed at that point. All right, wet it down one more time and let's start rolling. Keep it tight, ladies and gents. Keep it tight. Right about halfway, I'll lift up the whole thing and just finish the roll here. With a slit and other things, just make sure that the film is laying proper and it's not gonna crease the film. Notice that it is overlapping slightly going that way, and there's a tube going that way. There's a reason for that. And so that when I unroll this, it's gonna naturally unroll on itself. If I did it straight across, the film will start to bind on itself. So, and I just leave about there. From here, best practice for you guys is just go ahead and clean off the windshield. That way you know the windshield's clean, so that when you're doing the install, you know, you don't have any questions on whether or not that's DSP on the outside or on the or something on the inside. With dry shrink prep, super easy. Just make sure to saturate the glass, 50% passes, and it comes off in one swoop. Much easier. You know, but you guys either know that have tried dryer sheets or do dryer sheets, y'all know for a fact that it takes at least 2 or 3 passes to get that dryer sheet residue off. On top of that, the dryer sheet residue is also on the film. So now after your installation, you definitely have to wipe it down, because all that stuff is on there as well. Dry shrink prep's not a problem, not an issue. All right, moving on. I like to go the driver's side. You can do the passenger side, because some people are like, well, why are you working on the driver's side? You got the steering wheel in your way. I don't, just what I do. Just what I do. All right. Most important thing is that we want to get the driver's side in as clean as possible. You can have some contamination, a piece here and there on the passenger side, but if you have a piece of contamination, dead nuts in front of the driver, it's just going to drive him insane. So the focus is obviously getting everything clean, but also focusing on especially the driver's side being clean. Again, notice, just wetting it. I'm not saturating it, it's not dripping. That's all you need right there. I'm gonna get the liner down, and I'm just gonna start unrolling this a couple feet, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lay it close to the film close to the edge. I can't tuck it in all the way because the film isn't out all the way yet, so we're gonna leave it as close to the left as we can and start unrolling. Get that out of the way. Once we get to about here, I'll start pulling the liner because I got to manipulate the film around the rear view mirror. And now from here, I got this side, right? So I'm going to wrap the rear view mirror around, and now I can get the film up and around. Move my body over. And then from here, I'm going to start wrapping. So I'm going to actually tuck it down a little bit, so I get this side underneath and then the bottom, so I know that it's flat. Just take your time, do it right. Once you get to this area, once this side is flat, you can go ahead and just pull it to the right or to the left, whichever way you're coming in from, so that you can wrap around the rest of the film around the rear view mirror. Now once you're wrapped around, keep following. Now here is the trick right here. You don't want to just, you can adjust it if you need to. You don't want to just let this out. What I do is I grab the liner and I hold it, and I don't let this flop out. A lot of people just let this flop out and this end touches everything. I let this side in. Don't let it roll on itself. I put this side in, and then I spread it, making sure that stays flat. And that's how you install a windshield. A lot of people just let it roll, and then they'll graze the side, the pillar, and then all of a sudden you have contamination all up this side, and they're like, I don't know what happened. All right, we're laid down now. I want to make sure that the top edge is where it needs to be on both. We're just a little shy right there. There we go. And just make sure you get all the big bubbles out. Now from here, because we have a wraparound, I want to start in the middle with the wraparound. If you don't do that, then you could potentially get a finger. Just try and get that underneath there. If you don't do that, you could potentially get a finger around the rear view mirror, and then it's just more work and more time for you, bro or broette. Okay, we're wrapped around here. We're good to go. All big bubbles out. Let's start squeegeeing. Where the hell's my goddamn side swipe? Where the hell are you? That's why you don't throw your tools. You place them so you know where the hell they are. Right in the dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off since it was down on the ground, on the side of the seat. Okay, wet it one more time just to cover it. That's it. That's all you need right there. Quick spurt. We're gonna squeegee around the rear view mirror first to wrap around, and then spread it out from there. Again, it'll avoid fingers in the future. and you spread it away from there. If you tried to do this last, you could get fingers all up in there. Like I got a finger right there. Let's go ahead and spread that out. Looks like fingers are still going, which is okay. I'll fix it. All right, now that we're wrapped around, we can go straight down with it. All the way past the edge. All the way past the edge. Just like in regular window tinting, if you go and you can't push past the edge, don't push. Don't push, because if you do a half-assed way of pushing past the edge, then you're gonna end up creating a finger, and it's gonna bring contamination back in. Overlapping patterns, working from the center down. In the case of like the Dodge, or like where, like I know the CPM, whatever the computer is over there, I'll actually coast to coast it this way to not have water pool up underneath there. I am using a side swipe. It's just something that I've always done and I've always enjoyed, and the reason why is it tacks the film down, but if I need to, I can legit like move the film incrementally if need be. If I just hit it with a traditional orange crush first, then I tack that thing down and there ain't no moving it. All right, squeegee to the center, all the way through. Opa. 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 Don't do that now. Now from here, I don't want to go this way because I went this way with this side, and if I go this way, I can introduce a finger, right? Because we want to spread. So I'm just going to try to, best I can, bring it the other way. And if you need to, you know, get out and go on the other side. Let's go up with it. It's not too bad, but what I should have done, hindsight's 2020, I should have hit these dots with a razor blade. Definitely should have done that, especially being an older car. It's just gonna make my installation a little bit more of a pain in the butt now. Okay, we're all set here. Now that the film is pretty much set, spray it one more time. The power stroke. Same thing, same concept. We're gonna do the wraparound first. Straight down, out, straight up. And if you're shoving it up in there, good idea to kind of wipe it off, because if you get a piece of sand or something like that, scratch the film. Straight down, tight, sides are tight, always tight. Just come straight down with it. As far as you can. It's gonna be about an inch or two, and then we'll take a bulldozer and finish that off. Before I hit this, I'm just gonna hit my squeegee here. That way it's lubricated, because if you try to hit it dry, it's gonna go ee. It's not gonna be a fun experience for you. Wrap around. Oh yeah, this rearview mirror is gonna be giving me hell. I can tell already. Yeah, I definitely should have hit that with a squeegee or a razor blade. Just the high concentration of dots in that area. Film is designed to stick to glass, not ceramic coating, hence why you see a halo around back windows like this. You see that? It's not designed to stick to it unless you prep it correctly. See, it's gonna give me all kinds of hell right there. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably trim it off the dots. It's 50%, so he's gonna be fine with it. You have a little leeway with 50 and clear, more leeway with clear than you do with 50. If this was a shade any darker, that wouldn't fly. But what I'll do is I'll see if I can get my heat gun in here. Or one trick you can do is go ahead and lay it down, let it lay down. Just like this. And leave it. And the idea is that will air dry, and then when you lay it back down, it's gonna be a lot better. That's it. And then we could take a microfiber towel and then just get the edges so that maybe a finger, so just lock in all the film there so that you don't have like air or a finger or something coming in and trying to ruin your installation. Same thing with the middle here. If you can't reach it down there, take a bulldozer, wrap it around. We're just getting all that moisture as much as we can out of there. Here we go. Y'all ready? Let's pull out this soak shield. Opa, look. There's a finger that popped up right there. So if I yank this, it could catch that. So we're gonna push down hard. Passed. Done. It's definitely tight in there. All right, soak shield. Soak shield test. You guys ready? Let's see how much water we can squeeze out this motherfucker. Come on. Not a drop. Not a drop. That's what the hell you want, baby. If you can't squeeze out a drop out of the soak shield, there's no shot in hell that you're gonna be breaking any computers. That's pretty much it. Wipe her down, clean her up, send her off. Ignore the top part because that looks hideous. But I'm gonna fix that. Whew. Sorry, I had a little midway break here trying to talk to people. I thought the side swipe was just cleaning squeegee. The side swipe is a cleaning squeegee for cleaning, and notice that I used it for cleaning. But I also for front windshields I use them as I use it as a light tacking squeegee as well. Notice that I wiped off the squeegee, so it looked good. But yeah, good observation. Good observation. All right, guys, that concludes today. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and that's it for the windshields, and I'll be back soon and hopefully with better equipment. Bye.